We return now to the town of Tipton, and it was here back in the autumn of 2017 that I first saw a 3-bed detached former bungalow, which I have to say, I was quite taken by. These first 2 rooms, they're just great, they're roomy, and I'm hoping that carries on. And it did. But it was going to need a full refurb. It had loads of potential, set on a decent-sized plot, and as a bungalow, it was an increasingly rare beastie. So I was excited to know what Ian, on the left, and his building contractor, Martin, had planned for it, after they'd bought it at auction for £176,000. Was it destined to be a bigger and better modern bungalow for the 21st century?
Actually not. We're going to be converting it into 4 flats, which will reconfigure the internal premises into 3 flats, and then we're looking to put a new build extension on the side along the driveway to create the 4th flat.
So you'll be renting them out or selling them on?
They will be rented. They'll be tenanted by people with learning disabilities or physical disabilities.
And with a proposed budget of 160 grand and a build time of 16 weeks, it really was goodbye to the old and hello to the new. Well, at least that was the idea. But a combination of getting planning permission and needing a mining report to make sure the ground was suitable for adding the extensions they hoped for delayed the start of the actual building work by 8 months. So when we first returned to check on progress, Martin's building team had only just started. And the list of to-dos was still quite extensive.
We'll get the roofs on. Once they're watertight, we then start first fix the M&E, which is mechanical and electrical. Then start plastering. Then second fix, which is all the carpentry work. Then paint it, and then we do all the external works and hopefully hand it over on time.
But now, 3 months on, and a year after we first saw it, we're back. So have they now completed the build? Well, that's a resounding yes.
We've created 4 individual flats, most of them individual to cater for the needs of the people that are moving in here. They all consist of a shared kitchen and lounge area, bedroom and wet room. The attic one has a nice little open space on the landing, which we call the penthouse suite.
So 4 very similar but individual flats with extra wide door for wheelchair users and lovely communal garden spaces. Martin's team had a proposed build time of 16 weeks and they're practically spot on with that. So what happens next?
So now Martin's handed the property back to us, we'll be moving the tenants in over the next few weeks. At that point, then, we work in conjunction with a housing association who will then look after all the housing needs for the individuals that will live here.
And the care package will be provided by Ian's company with staff on site 24 hours a day. So they have their own staff and cloakroom on site. And the first resident is due to move in a few days' time. I have to say, as much as I loved the bungalow, this is a so much better use of the building and the land it was on. But specialist buildings like this don't come cheap.
We bought the property for £176,000 at the auction. Our initial budget was £160,000. However, the mining and the extra professional fees, along with then the specialist foundations required, our budget from 160 soon increased to around about 270,000. With the extra professional fees as well related to that, overall we're just about at 500,000, maybe marginally over.
Ian's company has been involved in 9 other projects, but this has been the most complex and involved one to date, which perhaps makes it the most satisfying. But what do 2 local estate agents think of the end result? First, the agent who's seen this project through from start to finish.
The property has been extended, it's been refurbished, there's been walls moved, and it's completely changed it, and doesn't it look really, really good?
They're very spacious, very large, with all the parking at the front and the rear garden itself.
They've done it to a very high standard, and my opinion on it is that it's excellent. It really is. It's very, very good.
Ian thinks the final cost to create the 4 flats will be around £500,000, including the purchase price. So does that marry up with their market value?
The resale value of this property, based on the rental income that the property is going to be achieving, and over the period of time, say the next 10, 15, 20 years, it's going to be in excess of £500,000.
If this property was put onto the open market for an investor to purchase this property, I would put a valuation of excess of £500,000.
Nearly, near the mark. We've actually achieved just over 550,000. So we're happy with that valuation.
Yes, in fact, the whole building has been sold to a local housing association at a price agreed previously of that £550,000. So there will be a profit in it for Ian's company, plus, of course, the money they get from providing the care assistance. The housing association, in turn, rent out the flats to the local authority, and Martin and his build team earns the money from doing the building work. Perhaps most importantly, 4 people get the assisted accommodation they so desperately need. So this really is a win-win situation. So what's next for Ian and Martin?
Well, for me, I'm off to Spain for 10 days with the family.
And I'm nipping off to Tenerife for a long weekend for a golf break until we start the next one.
With the next project already lined up, it looks like these 2 are going to be busy for some time to come.